Do you want to know how to play Scrabble through a Skype call in this virtual room that I created in Blender? Check it out in this video. We're gonna, I don't know. I'll just start with the introduction of the whole idea. So this whole project was inspired by a video by Matt Parker, how to play Scrabble through a video call. The idea was based on every player or two players generate some random numbers.
So you've just generated 10 random numbers. And we didn't know what they were going to be. What we're going to do is I'm going to get the first column, and the first number you gave me was 2. So I'm going to shunt that whole column down by 2, which means 2 come off the bottom and they go back on the top. They don't change order, they go back on the top like that. So can you do the same thing on yours?
Yeah.
I wanted to play with Chris, who is now with me here, but we had two problems. First, neither of us had a Scrabble set. And the second problem is just that no matter how cool Matt's idea is, it is actually also a bit fiddly.
My first letter is an M for Matt.
Oh no! No, it's not the same.
Chris, do you want to start giving a tour around what I created?
Yeah, why not? You can choose a language between English and Polish version of Scrabble. You have a board for score. You have, of course, playing board, tiles, and you have kind of a shuffling board, right?
A few of the things that are going on here are actually scripted, like here and here, for example. Most of the stuff is actually happening through this animation node, kind of more graphical way of programming. And here we have just the links for the right version of the animation nodes for Linux, Windows and Mac.
The most important thing to know is when you download and install Blender is to go into the properties.
Yeah, preferences. Normally opens on interface, add-ons, and then we need to actually install. So you just press install add-on, just open Blender, and just here, just with the default cube, go to preferences, already enable that add-on, and only once you're sure it's enabled, then you try to open the Scrabble, because otherwise there can be problems. I'm putting the link to the Dropbox in the description of the video, where you can download the whole folder with the Scrabble blend and all the textures and stuff that you need.
How to navigate. Okay, you have the scroll wheel on your mouse, so to zoom in.
And if somebody doesn't have a mouse, but they have a middle mouse button on their touchpad, control middle mouse, and then I can zoom in and out to drag around without changing the angle of view.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Actually.
So it's shift and middle mouse, and then you can middle mouse button.
Oh, I so much needed this. Why haven't you told me this earlier?
And then I focus on the object, and then I can just move around from here. Opens in the solid view mode. So for anybody using this, the first thing to do is to press this circle here, which will change it to the rendered view. Then you just exactly do what the text says, and it's almost impossible to screw up because this text is already set as the active object. So if you press tab anywhere in Blender, it brings you to the edit mode, and you can edit all sorts of objects, but because text is the active object, so it will just edit the text. But if somehow you change the active object and don't see this possibility to edit the text, you can just click on the text and then press tab, and then it's active.
Yeah, the important thing to say is that when you press tab, your cursor is on the end of the text, so you have to move up to change the names.
If you replace the remaining names, or actually in case of 2 players, it's enough to replace player 3 with none, and then put names here. And then if you press the tab, once the text is edited, it will disappear, and these names that you input appear on the screen with the initial score 0. And because the third one was none, it knows that there are only 2 players. And in case you want to play the Polish version, you just need to rotate the flag, so you can either do it manually, which is lagging a bit, but if it's facing more the Polish flag side, then the tiles will actually be Polish tile set.
Yeah, so you press the R button on your keyboard, and then you type 180, right?
Yeah, I mean you can drag, or you can just type a number that you want. Oh, I just did something wrong. One of the player generates the seed for shunting the columns, and this is the green board. And then the other player generates the seed for shunting the rows, and that's the blue board. So this generator can do the job. But in principle, we just need to generate 10 random numbers. And now I have... Yeah, so pulling them lags a little bit. No, it was 5. Like, it lags a bit, but actually if you just like move the cursor above the place where you want the slider to end up and just press, then it just takes a moment to update, but it will place it where it should go. The fact that we only have a few of the green ones moved is fine for us because we never actually played with this setup. But I think in general, if somebody would like to use this Scrabble over and over, they should always generate 2 random numbers properly, so they get a better green 06230562889, blue 5138577937.
Okay, we're all good.
So yeah, I think we can start playing. So first 7 goes for you. So I'm just gonna drag them over here to the bottom of the table and make sure that that I don't move them over the board, so I don't uncover them. And then for my own, I don't actually care if I move them over the board. And yeah, it's just the only fiddliness is that it's necessary to keep the same order always, or it will be messed up.
The second one is in the center.
Okay.
Then the 6th one. And then the first one, all to the right.
For the scoring, so you get 4 points. And here's a hint for the wheels. So you can just rotate them with R, but of course then it's a bit tricky to get the right number. What I'm gonna do instead, and by the way here I canceled the movement with the right mouse button. Oh, by the way, another way to reset the rotation is press Alt R. So what I'm gonna do instead is press R and just type 4, which is what I want to add to your score. That went wrong. Okay. It takes the absolute value of the rotation in degrees, but because of that, if I would first set, for example, my score 25, whatever, dragging it counterclockwise, then if I press R5, it's reducing because it's rotating clockwise. So, okay, so now I'm gonna move them all to the left, Okay, I see the advantage of your method. Yeah, you have a point here. It's more efficient.
Yeah, particularly when the other person is playing, because you have their tiles like to the, you have more space. They aren't in this box, so you can select more of them, place them to the left, and it's kind of easier. So
True.
can I exchange some letters, right?
Yeah, like if you can give up on a turn and exchange any number of letters.
Any number of letters?
Yeah, like you can discard all your rack and just take 7 new ones if you want, or you can pick any that you don't like or want to replace.
Okay, I will do that. I'm missing my turn.
Okay.
And I will put the recycle bin 4th and 5th.
4th and 5th. Okay, so they go here. We have all our game recorded. Now just how it's done. So the way this is done is with the advanced settings, which are the following. So there are actually, oh yeah, I think I haven't actually showed it to you, like the behind the scenes of the cameras. So there are 6 cameras here. These buttons here are saying which cameras are active, which means every 10 frames, which is, you can choose any number between 1 and 18 here by rotating, so it's an R. We can get more efficient at rotating by focusing with a dot. And yeah, this is the frequency. So by default it's 10 frames. Like every single frame is super laggy, so I don't recommend it. S, it's like a sphere that gets squished on one dimension, and then when it's scaled down, it goes green, which means this camera is active.